fallen asleep on the job, right? Because that's what's happening right now. This is that moment of complacency, dude. People are bored right now, dude. You know what happens when people are bored? They get scared easily. And that's why I've drawn this regression model, because I think there's more downside ahead, right? I'm working with this bias of there's more downside ahead. There's more of accumulation coming, right? Do I particularly think this level is going to hold, this like 39, 69, 2 level? I mean, I don't care that much. It might dip lower. But you better believe I'm definitely holding some dry powder so I can get in that dip, because you know the altcoins are going down with it, right? So I'm just working on this timeline that's really approximate. It's a really dynamic system. It could take a hell of a lot longer, but what is this based on? It's based on the same thing I've been talking about now so much, right? I'm a broken record. I'm beating this drum over and over again that the prophecy will be fulfilled, because it will be fulfilled. If you need me to remind you, I'm happy to do that, right? And let's not forget that the prophecy is fulfilled for the altcoins after Bitcoin reaches that top, right? It's when Bitcoin is selling off that the liquidity is flooding through the market. And when we consider how much more liquidity is in this market than was in 2017 and 2018 during those altcoin seasons, well, you know, we have a lot to be optimistic about, right? And what am I thinking about? I'm thinking about not these. This, yes. I will never stop banging the table about BAM protocol, because this is such a basic setup right here, right? This is a play that is based on fundamentals. The price is absolutely devastatingly in the dirt. I mean, this is well below BAM protocol's average over the past, look at this, from August 2020 all the way here we are now, almost in 2022. And then if we just do a really basic measurement where we can kind of get our keys to the kingdom so we kind of know where that selling pressure is coming in, I'll tell you what I think. You're going to get a lot of selling pressure around 1751, right? That's our 702 level. That's corroborating with where I'm saying Bitcoin. This is our 702 level in between the 0.618 and the 0.786, right? I'm saying the same thing. I'm just like totally a broken record at this point, but it's fine. This is what we all need to hear. This is important. We have to talk about the prophecies. We have to talk about how we find out what the prophecies are. Well, the first prophecy on something like BAM protocol, I'm just choosing this one altcoin. This is a low market cap coin. This is an Oracle coin. This has great fundamentals, low supply coin. The price is just absolutely in the dirt. What more is there to know about other than what are the levels you watch on a play like this? You're watching the 702. You're potentially selling into the 702, right? And then you're kind of looking at what levels throughout this market have been relevant so far. Well, we saw that Mana literally hit the 4.236 extension like clockwork. Is that something we can expect for something like BAM protocol? Honestly, yes. When the conditions are perfect and Bitcoin is selling off, right? It's in that, just like the same phase we saw in 2017, the part of the market where Bitcoin retraces, wrong measurement there. Just like we saw in 2017, right? Well, this is actually 2018, right? Bitcoin's in that retracement. It's selling off. That's the moment, right? Like, this is like the last second. Realize this is what the market's been doing to us. It's been making us wait to the last second always. When you just think there's no time left for this thing to happen, Bitcoin is already being crushed, and this liquidity is flowing through the rest of the market. I believe we're going to see something like that based on this regression model I have here. You make it to the 702, you start to sell off. The liquidity finds value. I'm calling out BAM protocol because this has great fundamental value. This is an obvious choice. There are tons of obvious choices, right? We've talked about all the obvious choices. Right. Dash, really, really obvious choice, right? Strong fundamentals, like all of your Fibonacci prophecies are on the table, right? Obviously, you need to have like a dynamic mindset going into this and kind of see what levels are respected. But even still, like on the most basic measurement you got from Dash, look where you are relative to even the first sell pressure, the 702. That's like literally insane. That's like a 7x, like just off of like Bitcoin getting absolutely crushed after it starts fulfilling its own 702 prophecy, right? So if I haven't made it clear enough, this is a self-fulfilling prophecy in the sense that people who control the markets are looking at Fibonacci levels, or looking at these levels. They're respecting these levels because they're not trying to take on too much risk, right? Like they're selling into these retracement levels because they know other whales are also doing it. This is the idea of the Fibonacci self-fulfilling prophecy. And then you have wider implications from those prophecies. For example, what has happened previously when Bitcoin sells off from the 702 retracement? Well, altcoins go absolutely insane. And we've looked through the market and we've already checked this out. Yeah. You know, here's an example. Look at this, right? January 7th, OMG going absolutely crazy, right? This is because Bitcoin is selling off. Another coin that was around back then. Well, EOS is an interesting situation because look at this. EOS is going absolutely crazy all the way into April 30th, 2018. But what happened on the 702 retracement? EOS went obviously ridiculously insane. So EOS kind of foreshadows a situation where, like, well, one thing that could be slightly different about this altcoin season that's going to come after Bitcoin sells off from 702 is it might go longer, right? It might go longer than we've seen in the past, where we've seen like, oh, the whole altcoin season bust off in like a month or 2 months tops, right? In the case of EOS, this thing extended almost, 5 months after Bitcoin had topped out. So EOS kind of tells us, like, if something like Band Protocol hasn't taken off, I wouldn't necessarily change your conviction on that play. I would just continue to be patient and realize that liquidity will find value. I mean, the same is true for TRB, another Oracle network coin, where we have every reason to believe that the Fibonacci prophecy will be fulfilled for the basic fact of supply and demand. We know this is an extremely low supply asset, and we know it has extremely strong fundamental value. Will this prophecy be fulfilled? It's hard to see it not being fulfilled, right? That's the way that I see it. Over time, right? I mean, you got to be really patient in seeing these fulfilled, but also know that, the stars are aligned in the sense that, altcoins are going to get a lot of that market cap, right? This market cap that's just going to get absolutely crushed on a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's going to flow like a tidal wave into altcoins. I maybe sound like a broken record, or maybe I'm just saying what I need to keep reinforcing. It's like a mantra, right? We have to literally create that narrative. We have to identify real patterns, literally. And that's what this is all about. So make my models and stuff, see how they go, test them against reality, use my measuring tools, use Fibonacci, use world narrative, also corroborate with the stock market. I think that's hugely important. I think the stock market has the same effect when it sells off that Bitcoin does when it sells off, right? The effect of Bitcoin selling off in the altcoin market, that's sending a tidal wave of liquidity through the entire market. I believe the same thing is true for SPY and all the indexes in the stock market, Dow Jones as well, NASDAQ as well. When these ETFs start selling off, this sends tidal waves of liquidity through markets. That liquidity finds basic value. You have something like Jumia, which I keep referencing back to. Like, look, it's like forming a double bottom, right? Like, this is an obvious choice. I'm just talking about assets across the markets right now. These insane setups we have at this end of this grand market cycle. We have these beautiful, beautiful setups. Jumia is a perfect example, right? It's not limited to crypto. They're everywhere. But I'm looking for this setup, right? Look at this. Look at this thing. Oh my Lord. Like, that's a beautiful, beautiful swing trade that anyone can make right now. You're going to make 5x just at the 702. Like, this is a prophecy that will be fulfilled because market conditions are facilitating this. So this is the boring period, right? Everybody's bored, but this is when we have to double down on our conviction, keep buying, keep looking for those buying opportunities, right? Like, be patient for something like this to sell off, get the most bang for your buck because you're patient. And no matter how we slice it, Bitcoin is in for more downside. That doesn't mean something, like there could be an impulsive move any day now. Think about this, the Matrix coming out, right? The Matrix 4 coming out on December 22nd, that could literally cause like a short squeeze. Well, no, see, it probably won't cause a short squeeze because everybody is smart enough to know that they shouldn't short Bitcoin the day that Matrix 4 comes out, right? So it's not going to cause a short squeeze. It could just cause like literally a retail FOMO rally that maybe breaks through, but it's just like absolutely rejected, crossing back into, oh, right, I almost don't even really want that because I feel like that could extend, this whole process, right? But this is what we have to consider. But get ready for accumulation. Stay focused when this is boring. Don't fall asleep to the hypnotic droning. All right, dude? God, dude.
I take my sigh of relief. I'm home now, and you are here with me now. Through ritual, I interface with destiny. I sink my destiny. Might eyes have seen this blessing too.